Number 7, Operation Midnight Climax. Now, this is a sub-project of the aforementioned Project MKUltra. That's the to remind you, that's the declassified mind control program I mentioned earlier. And Operation Midnight Climax is exactly what it sounds like. Illegal sexual experiments on US citizens, all sponsored by the CIA. Now, Climax was done in the 50s and 60s, and it consisted actually of a web of CIA-run safe houses in San Francisco and New York City. It was established actually to study the effects of LSD on unconsenting individuals. And prostitutes were on the CIA payroll, and they were instructed to lure clients back to the safe houses. And these men who were hiring prostitutes were then plied with a wide range of substances, including LSD, and monitored behind one-way glass inside these brothels. And obviously, this is all illegal. But it's said that several significant operational techniques were developed within Operation Midnight Climax, and apparently this was highly useful for the CIA. And it included, research into sexual blackmail, which I'll come back to in a minute, but that's interesting, I believe, when you view politics in the 21st century. But it also, the main thing with Operation Midnight Climax was to study mind-altering drugs and what they could do, but they did that within they were studying that within the sexual realm, and so specifically within prostitution. And this little-known Operation Midnight Climax actually became quite expansive, and CIA operatives began dosing people in restaurants, bars, and beaches even. So to come back to, as I've said, Operation Midnight Climax, another conspiracy fact. Really intriguing project, this one. But to come back to what, and I'm going to go off fact here a little, inspired by the fact we've just covered here. But I'm going to theorize a little bit and say that it was reported that from whistleblowers and so on that they were also researching not just the mind-altering drugs, but what they could do with sexual blackmail. Now, you look at the amount of politicians now, not just in the US, but even more so, I think, in Britain and also in Europe, but worldwide, you look at the amount of sexual allegations that come out, and sometimes they come out in really convenient times, like someone is claiming, I'm going to leak information on you, then this sexual case comes out. Now, there is a theory, and I've heard this from whistleblowers from intelligence agencies and so on. There is a strong theory that sexual blackmail is used by intelligence agencies in that they get politicians that they've got it on video, or they've got some other proof that they've done something illegal sexually. And once they've got that, then if that person gets into office, and I'm not naming names here, but I'm sure you can picture at least a few politicians in your countries, right, who you think might be a bit deviant, or who have got a lot of allegations already against them, but they may not have been ever prosecuted. But it does make you wonder. And a lot of these ones get right to the top of politics. Now, is that a coincidence, or is it a case where the CIA and so on, intelligence agencies worldwide, have helped certain people get right to the top because they know they can own them once they're in office? Because at any time they get out of line, they can just say, hey, how would you like us to release? Remember what you did on this night at this brothel or this party? How do you think the public would react to that? And that could bring them sharply back into line. But anyway, coming back to the facts again, Operation Midnight Climax, a real sexual research project, I guess you could call it. And related to MK Ultra and mind control, but a little bit different, and maybe had different they were aiming for different results or trying to figure out different things.